is Dorothy, and you're listening to Recess with Spinelli. Give me some attention! Gotta raise a little hell.
You are listening to Recess with Spinelli, WSPN, Saratoga Springs, New York, and HOXTON FM, London, England. And today, we are here with the quartet, rock quartet, from Los Angeles, California. Dorothy, thank you so much for joining me today, guys.
Yeah!
Now, to my understanding, this is your second time here in the upstate New York area. Was this just by accident, or did you have an elaborate plan to come back?
We had a plan. We always have a plan. We didn't have a plan.
Our plan is to rock and roll.
The Struts invited us.
How long have you guys actually been on tour with the Struts so far?
A week.
A week-ish.
A little over a week, yeah.
So have you learned anything so far being on tour with the Struts?
That they dress amazing, and they're really nice guys.
And they sound great. How can you go wrong with that?
Have there been any highlights of the tour so far? Anything that's really stuck out to you, that's really made your day or night?
Maybe you should ask us what the lowlights were.
What were some of the lowlights?
Nothing.
We actually had like this really nice vacation day the other day in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
And there was like a bay side and a beach side. We were on the strip, like this island strip in Maryland. Where were we? Ocean City. We were in Ocean City. And they bought Hawaiian shirts and they walked around looking like motards.
Oh, yeah.
And that's my new favorite word. They were wearing Hawaiian shirts, and we played this pirate-themed venue, and I'm obsessed with pirates, so it was like a dream come true, and I can check it off the bucket list, so we're good. And they just danced and drank Mai Tais, and I looked for sand crabs.
Let's quickly dive into a little bit of the band history here. I understand you guys started in 2014 officially.
What's funny is actually DJ and I have known each other the longest, and he ended up in the band like way later, which is crazy because we go way back. And then I don't know how to explain this situation.
I'll give you the story right now. So Dorothy over here.
You and Dylan Howard go back 10 years.
Yeah, me and Dylan go back 11 years now. We just had our anniversary. We just celebrated it on the road. It was very good. We wore Hawaiian shirts, unbuttoned, and had a really good time. Sipped on a couple Mai Tais. Showed the ladies what was up. Me and Dorothy Martin go back to the beginning, just straight killing it. We had Mark Jackson was the original guitar player. Mark and Ian is who did the record with us. Rad dudes, rad producers, really helped shape like the sound and what we're really trying to convey to the world, which is old school, bad, blank rock and roll.
And Mark happens to be a really big Black Sabbath fan, and I'm a big blues fan. I grew up on Janis Joplin. And so when we had our first couple meetings and writing sessions, he was just like, "Oh, you sing like old blues, that's cool." So that would sound good over my guitar, and we've created something heavier. And we just tried to keep it as simple as possible. We grew along the way.
Yeah, perfect. That's the easiest way to put it. But you know what? We're taking over the world.
Oh, after midnight.
At what point did you guys get signed to Jay-Z's Rock Nation label?
That was thanks to my manager, George. That was a couple years ago, and then we, made the record, and we would have not gotten any television syncs, which was thanks to their amazing sync department that pushed our record and believed in us and believed in the music. So that helped because people heard it without having to rely on radio. But we love radio as well and would like your support. Thank you so much.
It's safe to say that I can see with this last tour after the record dropping and things going where they are that more and more people are showing up for us, which is rad. It's great. People are singing songs. People are stoked. People want to hang out. We want to high five you. Hell yeah.
In regards to writing the lyrics, though, do you ever find it sometimes a little bit challenging or difficult to write honest lyrics with the potential of other folks reading into it and potentially seeing your personality through them?
I've thought of that. Yeah, I'm like, do I really want to tell this story? And then I go, people are going to interpret it different ways. I don't have to admit or deny anything. It's in the song. And that's kind of, I think, the same approach Beyonce takes. She kind of like, I read in an interview, that's her therapy, and she writes songs to deal with things, and I guess we all do.
So how important do you think listener interpretation of a song is versus the artist's original interpretation of the song?
That's music right there. I mean, like, that's the great thing about music is it's your own interpretation of what you're listening to. I can listen to a song that Dorothy listens to, that DJ listens to, that DH listens to, and you know what? At the end of the day, we could all take something different from it that's music, it's interpretation, that's art. That's exactly what it is. You look at an art piece, somebody's like, oh cool, there's a parrot in there, and you're like,
I didn't
what
see
are
the
you
parrot.
talking about?
I saw the Michelin Man, but
hell yeah.
that's the beauty of art. You get to see what you want. Interpretation's up to the listener. It's important because if everybody thought the same thing, there would be no dynamics, there would be no contrast, there would be no new ideas. So if everybody thought the same way, that's what makes our world amazing, is that there's so many different unique things and people in it. So I'm glad that people interpret it different ways, whether it's right or whether it's what I meant to say. Doesn't matter.
Have you had listener feedback about certain songs yet that you've definitely been like, oh, that's interesting?
A lot of girls tell me they really like the song Woman, because they feel it's empowering. So that's a bit of feedback that I've gotten that I appreciate. And everybody in the band loves women.
Everybody.
You can interpret that how you want to.
Well, at the end of a show, what would you say is the mood you really want to leave your audience, your listeners with when they go home? What do you hope they're feeling?
We want them to
violent.
feel like they partied and had a great time and went home feeling tired and exhausted,
With a black eye.
but like they had the best sex they ever had.
Now, you guys are also celebrating your record, which is just released, Rock is Dead, which came out, I believe, on June 24th. Yep. But as we can tell, since we are here, Rock is indeed not dead.
No, we hear the Struts rocking out in the background right now. It was actually my manager's idea, George Robertson. He was like, what about Rock is Dead? Because I think we had discussed something, talking about that, naming a tour that or something like that. I don't remember, but I was like, that's great, and nobody liked it. Nobody liked the album title, nobody. And I said, great, that's exactly what I want. That's the title.
Well, how would you guys define rock, or how would you look at the current rock scene in the music industry that you've seen so far?
Rock has so many categories now and all this, and a lot of it seems disingenuous to me anymore. I really feel like real rock and roll is such a weak thing. We've got guys like the Struts, and even like Hailstorm and stuff. We're very good friends of ours. We're touring with, and we love. Like, there's still people doing it. It's just 4 people, 5 people on stage, whatever have you, doing their thing. That's what rock and roll is. And a lot of people are not doing that. People are going on stage and they're dancing around in tutus with a bunch of lights and all this stuff, and trying to not curse right now, because I get all riled up. But yeah.
He's not a fan of the tutus.
Actually, I
the
love
light.
tutus, but on women not playing on stage. Well, actually, women playing on stage, that would be great. I got an idea for you after this.
I'm not wearing a tutu.
West Portland is the only one with a tutu pass.
Yeah. It should just be rock and roll. No frills, no BS. Just give me some loud guitars,
Nothing wrong.
louder bass,
Yeah.
really loud drums, really loud vocals, really good.
Nothing wrong with a little flashiness, but the instruments have to come first,
Yeah.
and the energy has to come first.
I
And
see
then,
one-
you can spice it up with a tutu if you're West Portland.
If I see one more drum pad on stage, I'm going to run myself into a wall. There's nothing rock and roll about that. Nothing. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because there's a time and place for this style of music. Don't call it rock and then give me a bunch of drum pads.
Now, off this album, Rock is Dead, is there anything about it that you're particularly proud? Something that you worked hard and eventually achieved on?
That it came out.
Dude, it seemed like it took forever to put it out. I don't know what the effing holdup was, but I was about to leak that shit.
Timing is everything, and you have to respect that. But with that being said, it felt like it was like 12 years before a record actually came out.
But when it did come out, we had a lot of support. We got a lot of support from iTunes and branding partners and people that have helped us out along the way and believed in our music. So we're just happy.
Eager beavers.
It's good.
We're just eager beavers.
I'm not a beaver.
I am.
Over the years, how would you say your onstage presence has changed? How would you say your interaction with the audience has changed?
I have a really hard time connecting with people sometimes. I'm very sensitive in general. So for me, it's very hard to kind of open up to people. But it happens on stage, and when it does, it's really cool, because it's a moment and you're in the moment, not worrying about your bills or whatever. And I used to kind of be really self-conscious physically on stage. I didn't know how to stand, and now I just don't care. I kind of do what feels good to my body. So yeah, I've learned to relax a lot and really just perform. I don't choreograph anything really. I just go, oh, that feels good. That's what I've learned. And I've learned how to do my own hair and makeup, because I've had to do it every single night.
For me, my onstage approach has not changed one single bit from the time I first hit the stage at a very young age till my current age, and it's always been just complete and total domination. You got to go out there, kill it every single night. You have to leave the stage knowing that you left an impression on everybody, the first timers to the, the many timers. You have to leave every time knowing that you left a long-lasting impression, so that they can always go away with, God dang it, those guys killed it tonight, and I need to see them again. That's it. A to B, Z to C. Oh, A to B does equal C.
Are you guys all professionally trained or self-taught? How'd you guys come across your respective instruments?
I grew up, started playing drums for probably the first 10 years before I ever took a lesson. Took a couple lessons, studied, learned a little bit, and now I'm here talking to you, my good man.
Yeah, I guess a bit of both for me too. I took a few small guitar lessons when I first started, learned a G chord, and then after that, intricate advanced stuff from I just read a bunch of books and YouTube.
My father's a bass player, taught me a little bit, but his whole thing was real world application. He's like, all right, cool, you're 16, start playing shows. A little bit of training, a little bit of training, and a lot just self-taught, going along with it,
I studied a little bit of opera, fun fact, training from a personal teacher that I found through a friend who worked at Guitar Center. And I kind of started when I was younger mimicking really great singers and trying to be as good as them, although failing miserably for many years and sounding like an idiot. And then I took some training, and just really what's made the biggest difference is forcing yourself to go up in front of a crowd and sing. And rehearsal's key in becoming a better singer, because you learn how to manipulate your voice, you learn what hurts, what's how you sound the best. You kind of learn the different parts of your voice and how to use it, and it's a muscle. So it's I have to think of myself as an athlete. I get tired, I got to stay healthy, take care of my body, because at the end of the day, my instrument is a human instrument. It's blood and flesh and cells, as well as they have to take care of their bodies too, and they're playing an instrument, and I forget that when I'm talking all day, it's bad for it. But yeah, I just learned from other singers.
And are there any final thoughts you guys would like to add? Anything else that comes to mind you want to promote?
Just that we would love to tour the UK with the Struts if they would have us, or just tour the UK in general. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
We
Yes!
love our fans. We love you guys. Aww.
You have been listening to Recess with Spinelli, WSPN, Saratoga Springs, New York, and HOXTON FM, London, England. And we have been speaking with the Los Angeles rock quartet, DOROTHY. Their brand new debut album, Rock is Dead, is out and available now.